I leaned back on the couch and whispered, "I'm tired. I don't want anything right now." My voice sounded empty even to me. My dad, Mark, sat across from me and said softly, "You need a break, son. You've been drowning in stress for months." My mom, Linda, added, "A weekend at the beach will help you breathe again." I shook my head. "I don't want a vacation. I just want silence." Emily, my little sister, walked over and grabbed my arm. "Please come," she said. "It won't be fun without you." I sighed. "Emily, I'm not good company right now." "You don't have to be," she replied. "Just be with us." Her voice cracked something inside me. I nodded slowly. "Fine. I'll go." On the drive to the resort, I stared out the window. My dad tried to make conversation. "You've barely slept," he said. "Are you eating enough?" "I'm fine," I muttered. "No, you're not," my mom whispered. I said I'm fine. Silence filled the car until Emily nudged me. "At least look at the ocean when we get there. You always loved the water." "I don't know what I love anymore," I whispered back. When we finally reached the beach resort, the smell of the sea washed over me. The sound of waves felt like a gentle hand on my chest. For the first time in weeks, I took a deep breath that didn't hurt. "This place is beautiful, right?" Emily asked. "Yeah," I said quietly. "It is." My mom kept giving me strange looks. Not worried looks, something else. Something hidden. "Mom?" I asked. "Why do you keep staring at me?" She froze. "I'm just glad you came." "That's it?" "Yes," she said quickly, almost too quickly. My dad walked beside me and tried again. "We just want this weekend to help you reset." "I don't need fixing," I said. "I never said you did." "You didn't have to." He sighed. "Let's not ruin the first hour here, okay?" I didn't answer. I just walked toward the beach. The wind brushed against my face, carrying a memory I couldn't hold on to. For a moment, I closed my eyes and let the waves talk to me. Maybe this weekend wouldn't be so bad. Maybe I could pretend to be normal for a little while. Emily ran past me laughing. "Come on. The water is warm." I almost smiled. "Give me a minute." My mom's eyes followed me again, full of something I didn't understand. My dad kept trying to act relaxed, but tension wrapped around him like a shadow. I thought the weekend would be calm. Simple. A quiet attempt at healing. But as I stood there with the wind on my skin, I felt something strange in the air, like a warning. I didn't know then that something painful was already waiting for me. I didn't know this trip would change everything. But I would soon. I knew something felt strange the moment we walked into the restaurant. The lights were warm, the music soft, but my chest tightened for no reason. I sat down, trying to ignore the uneasy feeling in my stomach. Then I heard a voice I never wanted to hear again. "Hi, James." I froze. My fork slipped from my hand and hit the floor. I turned slowly and there she was, Sarah. The girl who shattered me. The girl who walked away with my best friend like I meant nothing. I whispered, "Why is she here?" My mom leaned forward nervously. "Honey, listen." "No," I said, my voice cracking. "Tell me why she is here." My dad sighed. "You two need closure. We thought this would help you heal." I stared at them stunned. "You invited my ex? The one who left me for Ethan? You brought her here like some kind of therapy experiment?" My mom reached for my hand. "James, please don't be upset." "Don't be upset?" I stood up. "What did you expect me to do, thank you?" Sarah tried to step closer. "James, please. I just want to talk." I lifted a hand to stop her. "No. I don't want to hear anything you have to say." She looked desperate. "I know you hate me, but I regret everything." "I swear I do." "I don't care," I said and walked out before she could say more. The night air hit my face, cold and sharp. I leaned against the railing, trying to breathe. My hands were shaking, my chest tight, my stomach turning. Months of trying to forget her crashed back like a wave. Sarah followed me outside. "James, please. Let me explain." I didn't turn around. "Explain what? That you chose him? That you lied? That you made me feel like I wasn't enough?" "I made a mistake," she whispered. "Then live with it," I said and walked farther away. I heard my dad behind me. "Running away won't heal you." I spun around. "Talking to her won't heal me either." He stepped closer. "You're hurting, son." "And whose fault is that tonight?" I snapped. "Why would you bring her here? Why would you think this would help me?" My dad looked guilty. "We just want you to move forward." I shook my head. Betrayal doesn't heal with conversations. It heals with time. Alone. My voice broke at the end and I hated it. I hated how weak I sounded. I hated how seeing Sarah again tore open wounds I had stitched shut with shaking hands. Emily came out, her little face worried. "James, are you okay?" "No," I whispered. "I'm not." I looked back at the restaurant doors, knowing Sarah was standing behind them, probably crying, probably wishing she could erase what she did. But some things can't be erased. Some wounds don't close with apologies. Tonight didn't just remind me of the past. It reminded me that I was still broken, still healing, still trying to survive what she left inside me. I woke up already annoyed, whispering to myself, I just need to get through today without losing my mind. But the universe had other plans. Everywhere I went, Sarah appeared like a ghost I couldn't escape. At breakfast, she stepped in front of me and said softly, "Please, just hear me out." I didn't even look at her. "Move, Sarah. Just 30 seconds, she whispered. "I don't want your voice anywhere near me," I muttered and walked away. My hands were shaking. My chest felt tight. I kept telling myself to breathe, to stay calm, to survive the day. But fate kept playing with me. Near the pool, she tried again. "Can we talk?" "No," I snapped. "No talking. No memories. No fake regrets." She flinched like I had slapped her. I didn't care. I was drowning in old pain I thought I had buried. Later, in the hallway, she stepped out of nowhere again. "Please, I'm begging you. Just listen." "Stop chasing me," I said. "I don't owe you anything." "I know," she whispered, voice cracking. "But I owe you the truth." I walked away before she could say more. My heartbeat felt like it was punching my ribs. By noon, I was exhausted from avoiding her. I wanted to scream at the sky or run into the ocean, anything to escape the pressure inside my chest. When I finally got some quiet near the beach, I saw her sitting alone on the sand, hugging her knees. She was crying quietly, trying not to make a sound. And even though I hated it, a part of me stopped walking. "This is stupid," I whispered to myself. But I still sat down beside her. She wiped her eyes quickly. "I thought you wouldn't come." "I didn't come for you," I muttered. "I came because I'm tired of running." She stared at the waves. "I was selfish," she said. "And confused. And weak. I ruined everything." "You did," I said bluntly. "I still dream about you," she whispered. "Every night. I dream that you hate me, and you walk away. Just like now." Her words hit my chest like thrown stones. I looked at the sand instead of her face. "Betrayal doesn't get washed away by tears, Sarah." "I know," she whispered. "But I never stopped loving you. Not even for a day." "That's a lie." "It's not," she said, grabbing my hand. "Please, just give me one more chance. I'll do anything. I'll fix everything. I swear I'll never hurt you again." I pulled my hand away so fast she gasped. "Don't touch me," I said quietly. "My heart isn't a toy you can break and glue back together." Tears streamed down her face, but I forced myself to stand. "My emotions feel like waves crashing inside me," I said. "And you're the storm that caused them." I walked away before she could speak again, breathing hard, trying not to collapse. I could feel the tension in the air the moment my dad said, "Sit down. Both of you." I shook my head. "Dad, I don't want this." "You need to face it," he insisted. "Running will not fix anything." Sarah stood in front of me, her hands shaking. "Please, just listen. I won't lie this time." I sighed, exhausted. "Say whatever you came to say." She wiped her tears. "I cheated on you." I stared at her cold. "I already know that." "No," she whispered. "Not just emotionally. I cheated, physically too." My heart dropped. I felt like the world tilted under my feet. "You what?" Sarah covered her face. "I hated myself every day after it happened. I didn't know how to stop the mess I created. I didn't know how to tell you. I was scared. I kept running from the truth because I knew I ruined everything." My chest tightened. "Did you ever love me? Or was I just something to play with?" She looked at me, eyes red. "I did love you. I swear I did. I was stupid. I was weak. I didn't know who I was. I tried to fill every empty space in my life with the wrong things." I stepped back. "You destroyed me. Do you even know what your lies did to me?" "I know," she cried. "I know I broke you. I broke myself too. I lost my mind. I lost control. I lost you, and I can't forgive myself." My mom suddenly covered her mouth and sobbed. "We only wanted you two to talk, to heal, to stop carrying this pain." "Mom," I yelled, "healing doesn't come from ripping open the same wound again. You didn't help me, you pushed me back into the fire." My dad stepped forward. "Son," she needed to confess. "You needed to hear it." "No," I shouted. I didn't need anything from her. I needed peace. I needed distance. I needed time. But you forced this. Sarah reached out. Please don't hate me. I just want to be honest now. I pulled my arm away. It's too late for honesty. She sobbed harder. I didn't know how much I'd lose until I lost you. I ruined my life chasing something meaningless. I could barely breathe. Every word stabbed me like a knife. I felt my anger dissolving into something worse, empty pain. My dad whispered, "Say what you need to say, then end it." I shook my head. There's nothing left to say. Sarah knelt on the sand as tears fell. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please believe that. But I couldn't. I felt numb. Hollow. Broken in a way I didn't know how to explain. I turned toward the beach without another word. The cold wind hit my face as I walked away. Each step felt heavy, like I was dragging pieces of myself behind me. The sound of the waves grew louder, drowning everything else. And in that darkness, I felt like I was sinking into memories I never wanted to relive again. I collapsed into my room the moment we got back home. I didn't even turn on the lights. I just dropped on my bed and stared at the ceiling, feeling my chest tighten again and again. Sleep didn't come. Food felt impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Sarah's face, her smile, her voice, her betrayal. It was like my mind hated me. Emily knocked softly. Can I come in? I didn't answer, but she walked in anyway and wrapped her arms around me. You didn't deserve any of this, she whispered. I swallowed hard. Then why does it hurt like I did? She shook her head. Because you loved her too much. I didn't reply. I couldn't. My throat felt locked. Hours passed like slow torture. My phone kept buzzing. I finally picked it up and saw her name again, Sarah. More long paragraphs. More apologies. More voice notes that I refused to open. Please, she wrote. Just one reply. One word. Anything. I threw my phone on the bed and covered my face. Leave me alone, I whispered to the empty room. The messages didn't stop the next day. Or the day after. Let me explain. You don't know how much I regret everything. I ruined us. I know. I felt sick every time I read the previews on the lock screen. I didn't open a single one. One night, while I was lying awake again, my phone buzzed with a different name, Jason. My stomach twisted. I hesitated, then opened the message. I'm sorry, but I love her. For a second I couldn't breathe. Then the pain slammed into me like a truck. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped the phone. Love her? I whispered. Love her? It felt like someone took a hammer to the pieces of my heart that were already broken. I deleted his number, deleted the chat, and dropped the phone on the floor. My mom knocked on the door hours later. Honey, please talk to us. I'm fine, I said, even though my voice cracked. My dad spoke next. We know you're not. Let us help. I don't want help, I snapped. I want silence. They didn't push further. The door closed gently, but the heaviness stayed. Days blurred together. I didn't talk. I didn't meet anyone. I moved around the house like a ghost, silent, empty, defeated. I avoided mirrors because I didn't want to see the version of me that heartbreak had carved out. Every night, the same cycle repeated. Flashbacks, shaking hands, tight chest, and a darkness that felt like it wanted to swallow me whole. I kept telling myself, it'll get better. But deep inside I knew the truth. I wasn't living anymore. I was just surviving the storm she left inside me. Did you hear about Jason? He asked casually. I shook my head, pouring coffee, trying not to care. He got fired. Big fight with Sarah's brother. Apparently it got ugly. I felt a small hollow pulse in my chest. And Sarah? I asked, my voice low. She's out of her parents' place. Sleeping in some cheap motel downtown. They're furious at her. I didn't answer, just stared at the coffee swirling in my mug. Later, my mom peeked into my room. You're up early. Breakfast is ready. I nodded. She lingered, soft eyes watching me. Honey, remember, pain returns to the ones who give it. I didn't speak. Somehow, hearing her say it aloud made the idea feel real. Karma, I thought, had its own way. For the first time in months, I cleaned my room. Dusting shelves, organizing my desk, folding shirts that had lain in piles. Each motion was slow, almost meditative. Emily bounced in while I was wiping the windows. It's nice seeing you moving again. I forced a smile. Yeah, feels good to see sunlight through clean glass. She frowned. You've been quiet. Are you okay? I didn't answer. Quiet was what I needed. After breakfast, I made my way to the gym. The treadmill hummed beneath me. Each step, each push was like removing some invisible weight. Sweat stung my eyes, but I welcomed it. By the time I finished, I felt a faint pulse of life inside me. My phone buzzed with a message from Sarah. I ignored it as usual. Another appeared. And another. Long texts filled with apologies, confessions, promises, voice notes. I didn't read them. I didn't respond. Her voice, her words, they couldn't touch me anymore. No anger. No love. Just calm, empty air where chaos had lived before. Walking home, I stopped at the corner store, bought breakfast for myself. Real eggs, toast, orange juice. I sat alone on the balcony, sunlight warming my hands, the breeze brushing my face. Sarah's last message pinged again. I stared at it, thumb hovering over the screen. Finally, I locked the phone. Silence followed. And for the first time in a long time, it wasn't empty. It was mine. I whispered to no one. Sometimes karma doesn't scream. Sometimes it whispers. And I let it whisper. I walked into the office that morning, half expecting everything to feel gray and heavy, like it had for months. Instead, someone new was there, unpacking a box at the desk across from mine. "Hi, I'm Lena," she said, looking up with a calm smile. "I'm your new teammate." I nodded, trying to force a polite smile. "Oh, Michael. Nice to meet you, Michael. Need a hand with anything?" "No, I got it." I realized my voice sounded hoarse. She didn't seem to notice, didn't recoil. That small act of normalcy was almost startling. Later, during the break, she approached with 2 coffees. "Thought you might like this." I blinked. Thanks." We sat near the window. Sunlight spilled over the desks. For the first time in weeks, I felt a little less heavy. "You're quiet," Lena said softly. "Are you okay?" I'm getting there," I muttered, sipping the coffee. "Just been a rough few months." She nodded, as if she understood without needing details. "I get it. Sometimes talking isn't the first step. Just sitting together works too." I hesitated, then said, "I had a relationship. Ended badly. Betrayal, lies. Whole mess." Her eyes didn't judge. "That sounds awful. I'm sorry you went through that." "I appreciate it." I exhaled slowly. I laugh less now." She smiled, gentle. "Then maybe today we can change that." We shared stories, small, safe things. Childhood memories, favorite movies, jokes that made me laugh aloud. Something in her calm presence made it easier to breathe. Later, I told her, cautiously, "Sometimes I think I lost myself in all that. Felt like the old me died." "That's hard," she said softly. "But maybe the old you doesn't need to stay dead. Maybe he just needs to be remembered differently." Her words lingered. I remembered what my therapist had said: let go of the version of you that died in that relationship. That afternoon, I blocked Sarah's number. Permanently. I didn't feel rage or relief. Just clarity. Lena noticed, her hand brushing lightly against my shoulder. "You okay?" "I think I am," I whispered. "Thanks for being normal. Not pitying me." "You're stronger than you think," she said. For the first time in months, I felt a small spark of warmth. A quiet light in my life. Someone who reminded me that not everyone breaks what they touch. And for once, I let myself believe it. The air smelled of bread and coffee when I stepped into the small grocery store. I hadn't expected to see anyone familiar, and yet there she was. Sarah. Standing near the produce aisle, her head lowered, shoulders slumped. I froze. "Michael?" she whispered, almost too soft to hear. I clenched my jaw. "Sarah." Her eyes lifted, and I saw the regret written all over her face. I wish I could undo everything," she said. I swallowed. My chest tightened. "I already forgave you," I said slowly, deliberately. "But I moved on." Her lips trembled. You moved on?" "I did." I stepped past her, forcing myself not to look back. "You can't keep living in the past, Sarah. I did what I had to do. You don't get to control me anymore." She took a small step forward. "I was selfish. I was cruel. I never stopped thinking about you, about what I ruined." "You ruined things for you, not me," I snapped, though my voice was quieter than I expected. "You made choices. I survived them." Her tears fell, but I didn't flinch. I didn't feel the old burn of betrayal or heartbreak. Just a calm emptiness, the kind that follows months of rebuilding yourself. "I'm sorry," she whispered again. I hate myself every day." "I'm not your audience," I said. "I'm not here to make you feel better about your mistakes. I'm living my life. And you need to live yours." She nodded, defeated, and turned away without another word. I didn't follow. I didn't want to. My past didn't need a resolution from her. It needed my peace. Walking home, the streets were quiet. The sky was starting to lighten, pale hints of orange and pink peeking over the horizon. Lena was waiting for me on the porch, her hair catching the early light. She smiled, the kind of smile that reminds you the world isn't all broken. "Hey," she said softly. "Coffee?" "I'd like that," I said, and for the first time in a long time my chest felt light. We talked about plans, small dreams, the silly things that made us laugh. For once, I didn't have to hold myself back, didn't have to be careful about every word. Later I stepped outside. The sun was fully rising, painting the world gold. I breathed in the morning air, feeling the weight of the past lift a little more. "This time," I whispered, watching the light touch the horizon, "I choose myself." And I meant it.